Hello and welcome back to MBC News. I'm delighted to say that I have here today, in order of no particular anything at all, editorial clarity.
Were you going to go alphabetical order then, but you couldn't work it out, do so?
Something like that.
Hello.
Can't count.
Hi.
Hi. And next I will have Mal Burns-Rice, I think. Hi, Mal.
Hello, everybody.
You're having a particularly good time today, aren't you?
I'm having a particularly good time for the last 2 days, but enough about that. Otherwise,
later, perhaps. And leastly but not lastly, Sigmund Leominster.
And alphabetically correct, yes. Good evening.
So it's proven I can spell. The US Army has announced a series of money prizes for inventive virtual world use in exercise. The list includes Second Life Checkpoint exercise, which goes to USCICT Virtual Intelligent Guides in Online Realms Vigor Team. Good Lord. Who will receive 3,000 lindens. They will receive 3,000 US dollars, because the Army at the moment, as far as I know, is not paying lindens. The overall winner of the competition was Clinispace by Parvati Dev and William Leroy Heinrichs for innovation in learning.
And using Second Life as a platform to teach weight loss skills was on the agenda at the American College of Sports Medicine's 58th annual meeting in Denver last week. Researchers from the University of Indiana reported that dieting in real life, coupled with regular meetings in a virtual world, was more effective at changing the behaviors associated with losing weight than people who attended real-life meetings alone. And the subjects who paired dieting and Second Life meetings lost as much weight as those in real life, but they reported better skills at making healthy food choices and exercise decisions. According to one of the study's authors, Jean Johnson, quote, "They had more confidence in their ability to perform physical activity in difficult situations, such as bad weather, vacations, and low-energy days," unquote.
Meanwhile, a report in the Washington Post says that the Pentagon have developed a list of cyber weapons and cyber tools to improve how the USA handles cyber warfare. These weapons include viruses aimed at taking out an enemy's computer-based defense and control systems, tools to block enemy propaganda sites, and spy software that is intended to simply monitor an enemy's computers. An example of a cyber weapon is the Stuxnet virus that disrupted activity at an Iranian nuclear power plant last year. The US does not acknowledge suggestions that they may have created the virus, but some computer professionals believe it is definitely a possibility. The use of such cyber weapons would, of course, have to be approved by the president, and the Pentagon is close to releasing a formal cyber strategy document.
I thought all this had been sort of out for a while. I mean, it's fairly obvious that they've got software that can monitor computers, because virtually everybody has it, certainly.
I think, I don't think this is particularly new. They're probably just coming up with a new cyber strategy document. I mean, it's actually happened here in the UK recently that they announced the military are sort of bringing out cyber warfare agendas and stuff.
And I think part of the discussion that's still ongoing is in relation to, just like with nuclear weapons, who can push the button. This discussion about whether the president has final authority or whether the military has some authority. And there are some tensions, I think, between the arms of government and the arms of Pentagon in terms of who should be able to do what. So that's why they're still discussing this, and that's why they're still working on some sort of formal document to be released. So it's still under discussion, but it's been under discussion for a long time.
Well, Facebook users can find themselves in serious trouble if they make a game of adding as many people as they can to their friends list and then neglecting to use their privacy settings correctly. 16-year-old girl from Germany decided to use Facebook she made an event to invite a few friends to her birthday party, forgot to use the privacy settings, and in fact what she did, she sent it to everybody and on her list. So no less than 1,500 people turned up. In fact, she made it public. She made it a public event, and no less than 1,500 people turned up for it, causing something of a headache for her parents. Luckily, this was only 10% of her 50,000 friends.
Well, Research in Motion, the company that makes the BlackBerry smartphone, had another depressing quarter. A report from the market research group ComScore shows that RIM's share of the mobile market has dropped by almost 5%, from 30% to 25%, while Google's Android platform has increased by a similar 5%. Android-based phones now account for 36% of the total market, followed by Apple at 26%, RIM at 25%, and poor Microsoft trailing at 7%, although they're actually up a little bit. The market analysts at UBS noted that, quote, it did not believe RIM's management structure was optimal, unquote, which is actually business slang for somebody is going to be sacked.
Indeed. Well, Adobe Systems are reported to be issuing a lawsuit against Wowza Media on patent infringements. Adobe claimed that real-time, priority-based media communication is used in its flash delivery, and that the messaging technology is held under 2 patents by, of course, Adobe. They're also claiming false advertising and unfair competition.
Why don't we pop over to editorial clarity this week for public service announcements?
Oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea, actually. Right, let's see. All right, we've got a few things this week. Linden Lab, if you didn't see it, posted on the Second Life community blog pages advising residents who use a password for Second Life, which they also use as another online network, to maybe look into changing it. Basically, this comes after attacks on the Sony PlayStation Network, which saw passwords and usernames leaked. So if you head over to the Second Life community pages, look in the featured news section, you'll see that, and they've also got some advice on, the best things to do when creating a password for SL. So if you are one of those people that use the same password for something else, it might be worth maybe changing it just to be on the safe side. University of Western Australia, the monthly 3D Art Challenge winners for the month of May have been released. Laura Laurie's piece, named 1 and 4 Time Boards, took the top prize, and the 10,000 Linden in cash. Ching. Other winners included Artistide Desprez and Wizard Gynoid for his Compound Cube, which is very good. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. You can get the full list of winners in the press release at the You Were in SL website. That's www.youwereinsl.blogspot.com. Right, well, the males of Second Life might have noticed that one of the grid's largest fashion events got underway just before the weekend. The Men's Stuff Hunt, which has around 9,000 people in the group, is growing and growing, and began another month-long hunt for guys on the grid, which is running from June 3rd to July 3rd. It is containing over 150 of the grid's top content creators, including 60 free gifts upon arrival at the Men's Stuff Lounge. For more information on this event, you can join the Men's Stuff group in World, and it's also in the featured events section of the destination guide if you want to head over and check that out. Another announcement made by the Lindens was made last week. If you didn't catch it, I thought I'd mention it quickly, about Mesh. I know a lot of people have been wondering when it's actually coming into Second Life. Well, apparently Linden said that Mesh shall be coming to the main grid by this summer. Yay, which I'm sure has pleased many content creators here on the grid, so keep a lookout for that. On Saturday, 11th of June, at Musicland Isle, Maximilian Clean will be performing live on Centre Stage at 9 PM SLT, followed at 10 PM by Tuxo Oki. For more information, you can send an IM to Padula Bing in World, and that's Padula, Padula. Bing. I don't think I need to spell Bing. B-I-N-G. I did anyway. Right, couldn't help myself. Right, and finally tonight, it's time to see what's new up on the Metaverse TV homepage as far as the best online entertainment goes. Yay. Episode 9 of Claim to Fame is available to watch. The theme of the last show was rock and roll and rockabilly fashion. It also includes guest judge Cyan Cease of Sis. Also, you can see another version of Inside the Avatar Studio, where the guest was Dave Levinson, or in SL, Dave Surface, who is CEO of Cranial Tap. I hope I've said that right. All this and more is available at www.metaversetv.com. And Dusa, it is back to you.
Thank you very much, Eddie. It's nice to have a polite one around here. Makes everybody else look so naff. Okay, if you want a translation of naff, please apply to Sigmund Leominster. Well, we've come to the end of the news, and I just need you all to say goodbye, really.
Goodbye.
Good night, and we'll see you next week.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are.
And thank you very much for watching. Stay safe from MBC News. We haven't got it in yet this week because we couldn't find the cute.